After half a year of recuperation, Xianxia finally recovered. Although he was missing an arm, his strength did not have much impact. At this moment, when he passed by Xianxia, he was naturally furious when he met him. Without a word, he sacrificed his own demon blood thread, turned into a dark light, and headed for Xianxia. He thought that Xianxia was unprepared and would definitely die. But he too underestimated the power of the Emperor Prestige here. The black light transformed by the demon blood thread just shot out, and it was wrapped in the power of the Emperor Prestige, and the speed was as slow as a tortoise crawling, and there was no effect of a sneak attack. But at this moment, Xianxia glanced towards him with a sarcastic smile appearing at the corner of his mouth, and his lips squirmed a few times, as if he was cursing someone. It was too far apart. Xianxia did not hear clearly, and then he withdrew. The other party didn't even care about him. Snapped. With a soft sound, the black light that hit Xianxia unexpectedly burst open. A strong smell of blood permeated, making people vomit, and the demon blood thread that had been nurtured by Xianxia for countless years was crushed by the power of the Emperor Prestige and turned into powder like this. Puff. Xianxia's face suddenly paled, and a bloody mist was sprayed out from his mouth. His figure was shaky, his face was shocked, as if he was already injured. The demon blood thread is very special. It is similar to the existence of an artifact, but it is connected with the mind of the cultivator. Once it is destroyed, the cultivator will naturally suffer a backlash. With a single blow, Xianxia not only failed to kill Xianxia, but also lost a demon blood thread that is as important as his life. He couldn't help but crack a bitter smile, and his face was blue. Mo Xiao, Sheng Feng and others who followed closely saw this scene in their eyes, and they all showed a look of horror, and the eager expression on their faces gradually converged and became extremely solemn. They also wanted to take action against Xianxia just now, but Xianxia moved faster. But now it seems that fortunately, he and others didn't rush into action, otherwise the end would not be much better than Xianxia. At this point, all of them showed lingering fear and dread, and after glancing at Xianxia, they flew upward without a word. Boy, don't let the old man meet you in the Emperor Garden. You'll be cramped and skinned, otherwise it will be difficult to dispel my hatred. Xianxia furiously screamed. Xianxia turned to look at him. Raised a hand with a great difficulty, raised it toward him, clenched it into a fist, and immediately raised a finger. Dare to be provocative to the old man. Xianxia's eyes were filled with murderous intent, and he wanted to fight Xianxia to the death right now. He was also a well-known figure anyway. He also holds the position of the Great Elder in the Demon Blood sect. When has the people dared to despise and be provocative? Those who dare to treat him this way have long been sacrificed by him with a secret method and turned into blood essence to enhance the power of his demon blood thread. Xianxia's movements undoubtedly made him furious. Elder, it's still important to advance to the Emperor Garden. This kid will definitely go in too. It won't be too late to trouble him again. Next to Xianxia. A beautiful woman in a pink skirt with exposed blouses lightly lifted her lips and comforted him. This woman is dressed very boldly, with two wide jade-like arms and two slender legs almost all exposed to the air. The pink dress can't conceal her proud figure, and she has a pair of plump mountains on her chest. Looking like they want to split the clothes out, the deep white collie in the chest is magical. It can attract the eyes of any man, swallowing their divine soul, and make all men crazy. What people care most about is this woman's red lips. Those bright ruby-like scented lips exude a crystal-clear luster, bright and dripping, with a different temptation. This beautiful woman looked like a ripe peach dripping with just a pinch. Looking young, she is only 30 years old, but her body exudes the powerful aura of the Third Order Void Return stage. Although Xianxia was resentful, he didn't seem to dare to be presumptuous in the face of this beautiful woman. Hearing this, he nodded and said, I will listen to what the leader said. This beautiful woman is the leader of the Demon Blood sect. If it is a person who does not understand the details of Demon Blood Temple, they certainly can't believe that such a woman would actually be in a high position, but if they had heard of her name, they would be afraid of it. The Demon Blood sect is not a kind force. Although it does not say that it is not evil, most of its disciples are not good people, killing people and bullying the weak, and abduction is a commonplace. The so-called upper-up is not right and crooked, and the disciples in the temple are like this, and the beautiful woman who is the leader is naturally not much better. It is rumored that this woman has a different male every night, and within the demon blood cult, any handsome man, once targeted by this beautiful woman, will not escape her palm, and even the elders in the sect has rumor that they has an affair and tainted with her. Every year, a large number of male cultivators with strong bodies and outstanding appearance are abducted into the demon blood temple, and then there is no trace. Rumor has it that this beautiful woman sucked up the blood essence and died tragically on her belly. However, although the demon blood temple has done all the bad things, it has been safe and sound because the objects they started with were small people and small forces with no big backing, and no background, so even if the reputation is not good, no big power is fed up to find their troubles. What's more, the demon blood temple is also a frontline force in the Shadowed Star. Unless Thunder Typhoon Sect and the Battle Sky Union join forces and gather some helpers, it is impossible to uproot it. At this moment, the beautiful woman looked at Xianxia. Her beautiful eyes flashed with strange amorous feelings, her fragrant tongue squirmed, she licked her red lips that were more beautiful than rubies, and her breathing was slightly rapid. The rumors are true. For example, this beautiful woman likes men with strong bodies the most. She is not empty and lonely. As the master of the sect, she is also a powerful person in the third order void return stage. How can she be empty and lonely? She likes strong men. The biggest reason is that the power of blood contained in those men is far stronger than ordinary cultivators. When she has sex with those men, she can swallow the power of the opponent's chi and blood essence through secret techniques, and cultivate and strengthen her own demon blood thread. Xianxia did not rely on the protection of the Emperor Jade, but only rely on his body to fight against the power of the Emperor Prestige here. The strength of the body is evident, and it is natural for the beautiful women to see the joy of hunting. Moreover, Xianxia's cultivation level is not low, and he has the first order void return stage cultivation level. If she can swallow the power of this person's blood essence, then it is expected to make her strength grow even further. At the level of her cultivation realm, if you want to increase it, it will be extremely difficult. If you are in the other stars in this star territory, you can also expect to be promoted to the Void King realm, but in a special environment like Shadowed Star, the Void King realm is a luxury. She can only find ways to enhance the power of her own secret technique. Xianxia's body is the best nutrient. The more she watched, the more delighted she is, and the more she watched, the more satisfied she is. This beautiful woman could not wait to rush over to capture Xianxia now, and then find a place where no one was there to concoct it. But the scene where Xianxia shot before made her mind ring the alarm bell, knowing that now is not the best time to do it. With a chuckle, the beautiful woman looked at Xianxia and said, "Little brother, hurry up and enter the Emperor's garden. This sect master is waiting for you inside." After speaking, she flew by with Xianxia not far from Xianxia. Looking at the back of the two of them, Xianxia snorted coldly, and didn't mean to care. He had long known that it would not be too peaceful to enter the Emperor Garden this time. Not to mention others, the forces that had previously clashed with him in Dragon Cave Mountain would never let him go. But so what? Now he has also been promoted to the First Order Void Return stage. Even if his own she was slightly smaller, even if he is against them, Xianxia is not afraid of them. As long as he is not besieged by 4 or 5 top masters, he can always run away. So he was not afraid of it, but was a little eager to try, looking for a chance to test the power of his own chi. Rays of light flew by from not far away, and those cultivators who had obtained the Emperor Jade on the Shadowed Star were rushing to the Emperor Garden, and as time passed gradually, all those who were qualified to enter the Emperor Garden has passed the space law formation in the sky and entered the Emperor Garden. In midair, only Xianxia was left alone, but he was still climbing upwards as before, extremely slow. Not only was there no irritability, but he became more calm. Now that everyone has left, then he has no worries at all, and he can temper and strengthen his own chi potential here unscrupulously. Yang Kai didn't want to miss such a rare opportunity. Time continued to elapse. 3 days later, Xianxia's face was pale, and he stood panting somewhere in the void, his legs trembling constantly, as if he had collapsed. When he got here, no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't take a step forward. The viscous and solemn emperor's prestige had increased to the point where he was terrified. It seemed that as long as he took another step, he would be crushed to pieces. These 3 days of hard work allowed him to obtain wealth that ordinary cultivators could not have for tens of hundreds of years. That is the understanding of Shi. Not only has his Shi reached a small accomplishment, but it has also been greatly enhanced, and he is not inferior to those who have been famous for a long time. Is it the limit? A trace of sadness flashed in Xianxia's eyes. Although he still wanted to continue climbing, the power was sometimes poor, which was also helpless. But soon, he seemed to think of something again, showing a pensive expression. After a full stick of incense, Xianxia's eyes lit up, and a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. He slowly and painstakingly lifted one foot and fell to the invisible staircase above. Boom! The pressure that almost extinguished Xianxia's body and soul came slowly wrapping around his body. At the same time, the sound of scoff was made louder. A weird force burst out from Xianxia's body, turning into an invisible sharp blade, cutting the surrounding emperor prestige. Suddenly his body became a lot easier to move. Xianxia's figure shook, and he took another step. The cracking sound became denser, and when he looked around, the space around Xianxia actually became distorted, as if it was constantly collapsing and constantly repairing itself repeatedly. The power of space force. To be continued.